but I'm just kind of the way I've been describing myself. I'm like a plug myself into different projects kind of person. So I've helped out on a bunch of different projects. I volunteered with a bunch of different programs, including Jill's. I popped in once or twice. But I'm an occupational therapist by background. So I've worked with pretty much every age from birth all the way to 100 and something years old. So my role, I guess, for this group, I'm here really just as like almost a liaison between ISTO and all of you. So you guys are really going to bring me questions that you have to help grow your programs, and I'm going to try to find all the resources, the connections, and whatever else you really need to help you guys grow your programs, grow ISTO. So I'm more of a facilitator, but most of whatever happens in these groups really is going to be driven by whatever you guys need. So I don't know if you guys want to do a quick little intro.
Yeah, I can start if you want. I'm doing an internship with the French association Anti-Surf. So I just arrived in January, so I started my internship there, and we work on different things. I don't know if you want me to introduce the association or what do you want to know about that?
Yeah.
If you want to know. Okay, it's an association which was created in 2008. And first, they work with people with autism disorder. And then from 2012, they decided to open up and to work with people that have different kind of disabilities. And then, so we do different things in the association. In normal time, when there are no COVID crisis, we run about 40 events a year to enable people to surf for free. And if they want to have access to surfing lesson during the year, we train surfer educators thanks to our training with Anti-Surf. And thanks to the educators, we have like 140 schools and clubs that are certified Anti-Surf. And we have a large network in France, which is cool because yeah, a lot of people can surf, and it's a very good thing. And so we have that. We also organize a session on Saturday to help people with autism to feel at ease in the water. So every Saturday we do like games and yeah, games to enable them to feel comfortable. And so like I said before, we do formation for surfer educators. And we are working on another project to help young people with disabilities to have to feel integrated in the corporate world. So for that, we sensibilize employers to tell them that someone with disability can have a real advantage, and it can be a plus in their team. So this is what we do, and I don't know if Sandra, you want to add things.
So hi, and I'm really sorry for my English. I don't practice, so it's really bad. But I fully understand what you are all saying. Speaking is really hard for me. And thanks, Elise, to introduce Anti-Surf. And I think you are doing well. So
okay. So Sandra, she's the daughter of Jean-Marc, and Jean-Marc he created the association in 2008, but he's not present tonight because it's too late.
I started time. We'll fix times.
Sorry?
No, you don't speak any word of English, so it's why he's not here today.
No, I said we'll definitely fix the times in the future. Bill, do you want to go? Can you hear
Sorry?
me?
Oh,
I said-
yeah, you said Jill. Sorry, I'm not used to being called Jill, like short, and so my brain just didn't register. I'm Jillian or Jill. I run Surf and Turf Therapy. We are a nonprofit in South Orange County in California. And so we take people with disabilities surfing and horseback riding. And we are physical, occupational, and speech therapy focused. So it's all medical professionals working one-on-one. And then we use the same codes like we would in the clinic to allow them to get reimbursement from insurance. And then we also have, financial aid and support as a nonprofit for those who don't have means to pay for the services. So instead of teaching someone to steer a horse or stand up on a surfboard, we're working on functional things. So like how well they can sit up, how well they can buckle their own buckles, daily life tasks. But we just use surfing and horseback riding to get there. So there are some days we only catch 2 waves in a surf therapy session, and some days we catch 30. It just depends on the client and what goals we're working on.
Great. Also in the chat, Chris put tentative agenda just to keep mostly me on track. So I don't forget to go over anything. So if you want, it's there. So one of the things, I know it's only the 4 of us, but I did send Chris like a tentative monthly schedule. So we're going to alternate between Tuesdays and Saturdays, mostly half because of my work schedule and half to hopefully catch like more programs. So today's obviously Saturday. So the next month will be on a Tuesday, which is, and I'll send this all in an email, but it'll be Tuesday, May 4th. So while I have you guys here, and it's really helpful that you're from like 2 different time zones. So Jill, what are some times on like a Tuesday that works, that's realistic for you? I'm figuring the middle of the day.
The only thing is usually like 3:30 to 6:30, depending on the week, I have standing board or committee meetings. So before or after that, Tuesdays currently are my open day, but they're about to be a surf day. So they're about to be like pretty much normal business hours. I won't be available.
Okay.
But for a little while, I'm pretty open, but probably starting June, I won't be available until after like 5 or 6.
Okay. So what time is it for you now?
Right now it's 3. And I don't mind being late. I work till 7 or 8 anyway. So.
And then Elise, what about for you guys on a Tuesday?
Not too late. Like sorry?
Definitely want to try to accommodate like more of the UK time zone.
I say I can go before too. Like I can get up early and do it too. Yeah, I'll just be in the ocean during those hours.
Okay.
So if it's 2 for you, it's like 11 for us? No.
I have to check on that because I know I'm in the middle of you, so I'm 3 hours ahead of Jill. So right now it's 6 p.m. for me. So then I guess if it's midnight for you, it's another 6 hours for you. So 9.
So if we did like 7 a.m. in my time zone, that would be like 4 p.m. Guys, right?
Mm-hmm. And then I think we have a group or 2 from Australia. So we'll have to, I'm going to try to my best factor in like all of them, but having at least you guys here a little bit of a better.
Australia is going to be like another 5 or so ahead.
Yeah.
Put them where they're not at midnight, but they're later at least.
Yeah.
They have 9 hours before Earth, I think. So if it's 4 for us, it's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's like 2 in the morning for them.
Okay, that's why I alternate, and they are recorded, but at least I can shoot for more realistic times. So that's, and so the same thing for the Saturdays. Are we all a little more open on Saturdays? Or should we just kind of stick to like the general guidelines that you just gave me now?
Yeah, this one, like the general timelines can be great.
Okay.
It depends if for you, Chilean, if it's okay.
Yeah, my thing is I'm trying to not work 7 days a week anymore. So hopefully I will have more time on those as I bring on staff. So don't plan around me by any means. I'll make it work. I just know for sure Tuesdays I'm gonna be surfing from like 8:30 to 5 soon because I have 17 kids to start. In
And
addition to those that are already there. So
I'm not sure yet. I'm moving a bunch of, I work like 2 jobs, potentially 3. So I have to juggle my times, but Tuesdays I'm trying to leave as like my lighter day. But this is helpful.
Fridays or Saturdays are more open for now because those are tentatively my day off. I'm usually called in for some reason, but they're supposed to be my day off. So I should be more flexible on Saturdays.
Okay. So some of the other things I want to talk about, I want to try to come up with like a general schedule month to month of like the main topics. Today is really just kind of like getting a feel for each other, understanding like what the roles of the group are. And then I really want to get as much information from you as I can on what you guys want and what you need. So if I know I already asked you guys in the in my initial email some of those questions. And so far, based on everyone's answers, it seems like getting sponsorships, just kind of navigating how to identify a grant and then how to fill out the grant to apply for funding, and not having enough staff. Those were like the 3 big topics. But is there anything else you want to add?
I think that it would be helpful to talk about like insurance billing and coding. I don't know though. I don't know a lot of people who bill, but I'm learning more about it and getting more and more money back for people. But that might be a down the road thing to bring in like a guest speaker who is actually like a biller and a coder maybe.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I feel like most programs could benefit from the insurance staff and not knowing like which insurance. So definitely both topics, but for sure insurance sooner than later.
I don't know if it's the same thing in France about insurance.
Say that one more. Sorry, say that one more time.
Yeah, I don't know if it works the same thing as it works for you about insurances in France.
That's a good point. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's the same. We can help each other. I don't know if we can help each other if it's the same or not. I don't know. But we figure it out.
Some of like the basic principles, but that's a good point. And so this is the whole point though, is that you guys give me all of the information. So I'm one person going to like Chris and the board instead of like 30 groups going to them. So it's a lot more streamlined. So hopefully we can get the information faster and then get it to you faster. So this is super helpful. Anything else you guys want to put on the schedule besides the thing? Oh,
Sorry, I'm late, guys.
it's okay. I was gonna say, I think I just heard someone join.
It's me.
Hey, Chris. Chris, do you want to do a quick intro?
Oh yeah. I'm Chris Anteo. I'm the founder of Gnome Surf. We started surfing in like 2015. I didn't even know surf therapy was a thing. And then everyone started telling me about these awesome surf groups that travel, like AWOW and Surface Healing, and then eventually led me to ISTO. Officially became a nonprofit in 2019, and lo and behold, we're here today. We do things a little different. We do have events, but we also have like a surf school. We have season pass holders, and we do a lot of individual one-on-one lessons. I have already like 700 booked for myself this summer. So we'll see how that goes.
So Chris, you didn't miss too much. We did intros. I kind of went through time zones, and which I said it was kind of nice because Jill's West Coast, you and me are East Coast, and then Elise and Sandra are UK. So I was explaining to them I'm going to alternate between Tuesdays and Saturdays, so hopefully we can catch more people. So I have a schedule of dates that I sent to Chris, and I'll send out to everybody after this meeting. But for next month, it's going to be May 4th, which is a Tuesday. Hold on, let me take my dog's toy from him. He's going to be really noisy. Can you have it quieter? Don't wait. So you guys don't hear the squeaking toy that whole time. Sorry. And then Chris, the only other thing to catch you up on, I was saying so far, based on all the emails I got from everyone, it sounds like some of the main topics everyone in general wants to focus on in the next few months is funding, how to apply for a grant, and also how to identify which grants to apply for that are appropriate. Jill brought up insurance and billing, which I think is a good point. But then Elise pointed out, maybe we should also just make sure we, I guess, try to have an expert talk about billing and insurance from like multiple perspectives, not just the US, because there definitely going to be some differences.
Yeah, we don't get any of that stuff.
You don't have any insurances?
We don't get insurance money, no, unfortunately
Okay.
not. But if you need any help with the grant stuff, like I've recently gotten pretty good at it. We've scored. We were going like 0 for like 10, and then we honed it in, and now we're like batting like 9 out of 10 we're getting. So it's pretty wild what's happening. So if you guys need help with that, let me know.
Thank you.
The last topic I had was that everyone in general was saying that they don't have enough staff. So I know in the past, I've talked to Chris about this, that there's a lot of individual people, which is honestly how I got involved in ISTO, reach out to the ISTO Instagram or the website or the email saying that they want to get involved. They just don't know how. So somewhere down the road, we're hoping to figure out a way to direct all these volunteers to be like free workers for everyone. But I think maybe we can have that as another like main point for a meeting, just identifying like what specific kind of help everyone needs with staffing, and then trying to figure out a good way to get you that help. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. It is a struggle for sure.
But Chris, I asked them, and I'll ask you too, is there any other topic that you want me to add to this like main list that we want to hit?
Like maybe researches like how surfing, like researches about how surfing has real benefits on people. I don't know if there are researches that prove that, or maybe you can share. Or...
Yeah, maybe we can put out like some sort of basic, not a white paper, so to say, but just like what is surf therapy? Like what are some of the effects you see? And then just little tidbits of the research that's currently out there that maybe like from program to program, we can just like print out and put together with our stuff. So it's like branded from ISTO.
So are you saying this is something to use for like the public?
Yeah.
Or...
So my parents come to, I mean, they're there because they know what surf therapy really is, or they think it's a fun thing for their kids, right? Where the materials that we're giving them or giveaways, we can slip something that's like branded from ISTO that just explains a little bit more in detail. Hey, this is what surf therapy is. This is what ISTO is. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Sometimes I'm giving my parents like, hey, take this study. And they don't really know where that's going, or they do because I tell them, but some of them don't because I'm busy and I don't get to spend the equal amount of time. But maybe just like a
fact sheet almost?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That's branded, that looks like real professional, real cool. Just to mix in with all of our stuff.
So again, I just want to make sure I'm understanding all of your ideas correctly. But so basically, like, I mean, to me, I think shorter is better. So we're saying like a 1 page, maybe front back of like facts with citing research of like
Mhm.
proving that surf therapy works.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Other- that they can go to if they want more, like links or what,
Yeah. Real
Things
high
like-
level, nothing crazy.
but at like a, what's the word? Like layman's terms. I don't know if that's do you know what that means?
Yes. Yes.
So
Exactly.
what, sorry?
I said I'm not sure if it's like a English saying, but like layman's terms, like any person that isn't in the industry would understand. Like a parent of a kid.
Yeah,
That's a really good idea.
yeah, to be like more credible.
That
Yeah.
comes
If
from
we want
ISTO,
like
right?
partners, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I'll definitely add that to my list of things to investigate. Anything else so far? I know a lot of people brought up, I think I mentioned it, sponsorships of trying to get people to donate things. Is that something else? Or do you guys feel okay?
That's all relationship building, to be honest with you. I don't think there's any secret there. I mean, you just got to constantly do the work and build the relationships within the community. And then eventually you find out someone that knows somebody that knows somebody, and that's how you get your stuff. Because every company that I reach out to blindly, I ain't getting nothing. So I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that would be beneficial though.
Jill or Sandra or Elise?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are chatting together about if we have like points we want to mention. But like we don't really need help for like staff things because we have enough people on our events. So yeah, it was more about the researches. Yeah, I think.
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah, sorry, just we're just chatting like if we want to add things.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty good on the equipment side or having things donated side. I definitely, and this has been a goal, since I first talked to Chris at ISTO, I'm, helping make more structure and more clarity through both research and like fact sheets and things like what he said, to just kind of have everyone be on the same page so that you don't have groups promoting one thing, saying one thing, and then like just so that there's continuity and clarity. So that ethically for families, they don't get confused, because a lot of times I think they're not fully understanding kind of who they're working with or what they're working on, things like that.
Mhm.
So having those kind of different distinctions for the different disciplines and things would be helpful. And definitions, and having it like collectively what we all agree on, and then what ISTO backs, right? So it's not just like one person is saying this.
Like a common thing, yeah.
Something that I didn't ask in the email, but it's something and Jill, I'm pretty sure this is along the lines of what you're saying, something I've always thought would be useful. I know how your program works, Jill, because I've volunteered with you, but for Elise, Sandra, and even Chris, how do you have any people that are like physical therapists or occupational therapists or psychologists or speech therapists? I might have missed that if you said that earlier, Elise, but first question.
Like we work with psychologist people. Yeah, Sandra, if I say
Yes.
something wrong.
Yes. Maybe we are not enough because we have one psychologist and we work with I don't know how to say it in English. It is this activité physique adaptée, licence
Like adaptive.
Like adaptive
physical.
sports.
Yes,
Yes.
something like that. Yeah.
Like a physiologist.
Sorry.
A physiologist, like someone that's like exercise driven, so to say.
Yeah, it's a sort of thing like that. Yes.
Okay.
And we work a lot with with them, and but I don't fully understand occupational therapist in English. I don't know how to translate that. I don't know really what's
So ironically, it's OT month here in the US. But so occupational therapy, and just tell me if there's any parts that you don't.
Okay, I understand. It's Sandra, it's ergotherapy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we do the translation.
So basically, it looks very different depending on the setting, but OT's core is finding what someone needs to do and what they want to do. And then any barrier that's keeping them from doing it, how they need to do it and they want to do it, we try to fix that. So for kids specifically, you know, if they're born with a physical disability, a mental disability, OTs look at whatever's making it hard for them, and we try to either rehabilitate them, adapt things, compensate, to help them, I guess, be able to do it the way that they want to do it. I know that's a really vague description, but it really depends individual to individual.
Okay, it depends on the profile of the person, right?
So a lot of times you like activities of daily living. So it's like the basics, being able to get dressed, you know, go to the bathroom, put on your clothes, button them, feed yourself, brush your teeth, all the basics. That's kind of like the core. So those are the first couple of things people look at, but there's a lot of steps you have to take along the way to be able to do those things. So we kind of break it down and tackle each step to be able to do the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. But basically my point of asking that question, I guess I'll transition to the next topic. So I really want to get guest speakers, but I obviously want to get guest speakers that you guys want. So I know a lot of people wrote me back, so they would love to be able to make their programs, I guess, like more therapeutic, because not everyone's programs are founded from, like, Jill's a physical therapist by trade. So just how to, I guess, make programs a little more therapeutic without making the people a therapist. Does that make sense?
Sorry, you say like making the program or therapist without making the people therapists? No?
So trying to pull like tips from like a physical therapist, an occupational psychologist, a speech therapist, and them giving, like, experts giving all the programs some tips so that you guys get back, and I call it program development. So making your programs better than they already are, but without trying to make you a physical therapist.
Yeah, okay. But we do have like a training. We have professional people that are here to explain all different kind of disabilities for surfer educators.
Okay.
So yeah, we work with professional as well.
I know it's hard because all the programs in this group are so different, and so it's different. I wanted to ask, because some programs say that they don't have something like that, but it's great to hear that you guys do.
Well, there was a lot more people on the email, right? There was like 10 more than are here. So
I know
some of those programs might be benefiting from it more too.
Mm-hmm. So what else would you want an expert? I know, Jill, you mentioned like the insurance and billing, but what else would you be interested in having like a guest speaker on?
We have to discuss about that with Sandra. Yeah, maybe we come back to you after when we have a discussion about that.
Yeah, I know. Chris, what about you?
I like you were saying, a lot of our programs run differently, and I think there's a lot of benefit that if we just shared a little bit more about how we do run our own individual programs, that other programs could benefit from that and expand into different areas, so on and so forth. So I don't know, just maybe a best practice like type of the way we deliver it, right? I don't know if I'm making sense right now. Because by default, like my school was built on individual lessons where a lot of guys and girls start their programs on event based, right? So stuff like that, right? How do you get from one to the other to one? I mean, we also have events now too, but it's just like I'm getting overwhelmed because I'm giving, I don't know, I'm fully booked every day during the week, and then it comes to event day, and I also have to surf in the water. Like on the weekend, I'm not getting out of the water this summer, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. So it's kind of like just how to balance, like once you start taking off, because I don't know. I hope God makes me some sort of mermaid.
Well, I think where that's where getting some more trainings and things off the ground would be helpful. Like I haven't taken the ISA one for like adaptive instructors, so non-medical personnel. But I think having, I talked to Chris about that from day one. Like we need a medical based training and we need like non-medical, like surfer based training for those volunteering and things, so that you have people who come in and help. And because I have found that sometimes the strongest surfers are like the most train wreck when you try to let them take your people with special needs surfing. And it's the people who are not necessarily the strongest surfers, but understand the handling skills or how to interact with children, and understand that it's not about like the glory shot, getting the biggest wave. It's about keeping them safe and excited and not overwhelming them. So I think having more trainings in place will help that. That's something I've been trying to help and contribute with as well. I get that a little further down.
Just to touch on that for you, because I did take the ISO certification.
How was it?
It's dry as hell, because we've all been doing it, right? So it's like, it was a little bit dry, but it does go into that, what you're talking about, to a little bit of an extent, right? How to deal with kids with autism, how to deal with cerebral palsy, how to deal with MS, you know what I mean? So it does, to a very basic level, go into that, but yeah.
Yeah, you need more.
Meg and I were briefly on those calls. I don't know if you followed through with those, but I didn't.
Sorry?
I said Meg and I were on some of those calls. I don't know if you kept going with them, but I was only on a few.
It did not. It's I don't even know how I feel fizzled out.
Yeah.
It was too big of an undertaking, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
At that time. Elise and Sandra. So I know you said you do this training. So I feel like there's two things here. So I definitely agree with Jill. I think there are a lot of programs that could benefit from like the basic safety training. And again, I guess kind of still what I was saying before, some programs don't know how to de-escalate like a child if they're like on sensory overload or having a meltdown or a tantrum or whatever it is. Do you guys, is that part of your training already?
Yeah, we just gonna explain what we do. We have like a theoretical part. Like as I say, yeah, we're explaining all kind of disabilities, like understanding the disability and how to welcome the person. And we have a practical part that is to say that the surf instructors, they do internship in an organization to train. So we teach, different kind of thing, and like how welcoming a children with autism, for example, like how interacting with the people. So we have professionals that they know everything about that, and they teach this to the surfers.
Got it. So I think there's like I was saying, the two parts. So this call to be has all these great practices in place for training all their staff, but I know based on my emails that there's a lot of people that don't. So I'm not sure how this would happen, but maybe another goal for this group is we can come up with like another short sheet for maybe programs that are starting out in the pediatric, like mental physical disability realm of maybe like basic training, or I guess more of that like tips and tricks of how to de-escalate a situation. I'm just thinking, I mean, I want your ideas too, because I know that it's like half and half. Half the programs are just starting out and half are pretty well
Like
so
different
I'm kind of,
levels.
everyone can give back to each other.
Like
any idea?
you say that you want us to do like to write what we do. No,
I
like
mean,
if we can help people running their structures. No, this is what you say.
I know it would be, I feel like it would probably take like too long for you to write down everything. So I'm just throwing an idea out there and I want to kind of see what you guys say. But I guess what I'm asking is if we could help collaborate with the newer groups and give any like basic tips so we can start making more resources that maybe Chris can on like the website. You know what I mean?
Maybe you can assign like as new groups come into the sector and into like specific populations, maybe you can assign a mentor to these groups. Like I know when I was really starting to get started, I went to, and I'm not trying to badmouth anybody here or anything, so I just want to give you a little bit of explanation. I went to Surfers Healing and I did an event, tried to go back the next year and wasn't allowed. And then AWOW, they have been like, Sean's been like my right-hand man. If I have any questions or anything, I go to him, I ask him, and he's really been instrumental in like just guiding anything that I may have messed up trying to do it on my own, right? So having a mentor is definitely useful, and someone that's available and willing and not so defensive over their proprietary whatever they're doing.
It's not just you.
I know.
I stole their
Trust me,
name, so
yeah.
it's okay.
It was like, oh, you have a surf therapy program, you can no longer be here. I was like, all right, dude, whatever. Peace
That's
out.
a good, but that's, I guess, something that would kind of have to come back on you guys. It would, I mean, if you guys want to think about that, if anyone wanted to volunteer to be mentors, we could have a running, you know, as a new program comes in, someone could volunteer to be their mentor. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I just know that's a lot of, it's more time-based and this is all going to fall back on
Yeah,
you guys.
I get it.
But it's a good idea.
Yeah, and as I said before, I don't know if we can really help as in France. I am not sure it works the same. So maybe you can help.
I think, I mean, there's all the different levels of mentorship that people need, I think, between like funding and insurance. That would be different, like country to country. But the core of everything, like safety, you know, what
Handling skills, equipment.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you think about when, you know, you first started your programs, all the things that you didn't know until it became a problem. I mean, good thought.
Yeah, maybe we can ask Sandra's dad like all the difficulties he had before and what did he do to support themselves, to support the difficulties, sorry. And maybe he can help after we ask him how did he do to develop everything. Because I just arrived a few months ago, so I can't answer all the questions. But
So
maybe we can ask and
So post-COVID, I think we should really go back to like the conference we used to have for ISTO, right? We did the virtual one this year, which was really cool because we were able to bring in so many more people in. But I think it was really, really beneficial, that breakout session that we had like for 2 days before we went into the symposium. That was where all the nuggets were for me. you know,
Mhm.
because we had every program in a room discussing these things, like a big round table, so to say, and there was a lot of useful information right in there.
Mhm. Yeah,
And I need a new cool ISTO shirt, Chris, if you're listening.
I put mine in the laundry with a pen, so it's covered in it's tie-dyed in pink.
Nice. Just do it up.
So I want to
Kind of
be
like what happened to this one.
I want to make sure that this group benefits everyone. So far I feel like a lot of the things that have been showing up in the emails I've gotten have been things that you guys don't necessarily need help with. So I'll save that for another time, but I feel like maybe for next meeting, and I just want to focus on something that will help all of you. So for this fact sheet, what are some things you'd like to be included in it? Because this is something I can work on. It's going to take me a little while, but first I want to know what you would like on it, and then I'll kind of go from there. So I know you were saying like facts that prove, like maybe some quotes from articles that have like statistics that prove surf therapy is working or something like
Yeah, I
that.
wouldn't even go in
Researches.
that deep, you know what I mean? Like, what is surf therapy? Like, what the definition that ISTO has like deemed useful and that they put out, right? What is surf therapy? Boom. And then like, here's what we like, this is how long we've been around, where we're at with the sector, maybe like infographic-ish, right? So like has a timeline even. Started in 2017, 2019, there was like 20 something. Now today we're at 70, whatever. And like the scope of athletes that we're affecting across the globe. And then just probably like bullet points on like how effective it is. I don't know. Big beach, like wind blowing and sand in your face. You need to like capture it, get it quick, and then put it away, so to say.
Elise, I saw you going to say something.
No, just I agree with you, Chris.
So maybe it sounds like maybe one side be like the facts. I'll have the link for ISTO and maybe one other link of like where to go for more information, like more specifics if they want more research. Because I know you brought that up, Elise, that you want families to know where to go to get information that validates what you're doing. So one side could be like, and the other side, I think it's a good idea to have like a more of like an ISTO fact sheet with a timeline and like some graphics.
Well, I think I'm just trying to look at ISTO's website right now too, like current lit review, which I can help you with because I already have it from, I had 3 doctorate students over the last 3 months. So I've had them doing a lot of these types of things. Like I didn't realize there was like a recent OT publication, things like that. So I think having somewhere collectively where we can pull facts for fact sheets and things like that from and have statistics, like it's on the horse side, it's nice because I have my stats. I can be like in 30 minutes, they get 3,000 reps, refinding their balance, and here's the core, all this. And I don't have as like, I have anecdotal evidence, but I don't have like when they surf for 30 minutes, X happens, right? And so
Yeah, it's-
having the start of a lit review will help. And it helps those trying to do research who are way too busy have like access to where it all is in one spot. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think
Like,
doing a
what
fact
you-
sheet that's like more for the public to give out and then having like the lit review side would also be helpful.
like something like Jill just said, like I've never heard that before in my life, with the amount of reps and whatnot.
That's for
that
horses.
they
So
get.
my program does surfing and horses.
Yeah.
You didn't
yeah.
get my dog part, but
Oh, now I know who you
something
are
like
now.
that
We're
on the surf
Instagram
side
friends.
would be rad. Yeah,
if we had it, I know
we're getting
We'll get-
there.
we'll get there.
I got you.
I have
Okay.
lots and lots and lots of data. I just need time to do stuff with it.
Yeah. Okay. So next month, it sounds like we can maybe focus on the research. Does that sound good? Like I'll try. I mean, I'm gonna have to talk to Chris and see. Obviously, if we put out something with ISTO's name on it, I just have to run it by them. But I can definitely in the next month work through that project. So that can be something for next month. But is there? I have a lot of information right now, and it might have to be that I send you an email with topics, couple meetings. Yeah.
It's a good problem.
Yeah. But like I said, I want to make sure, because I know a lot of what we've talked about for most of this meeting is stuff that you guys are doing really well, which is great. But like I said, I really want to make sure this is beneficial for everyone, that you're not just giving and getting nothing in return. So please, if you think of anything that
we email you.
huh?
We will email you if we need more specific things, or if you want to work on different topics. Like, as I say, we have to talk about that before.
And I know it's midnight for you, so you know you're starting to pack.
And it's in English.
Yeah. Anything else? That was it. That was pretty much it for today. Like I said, I'm gonna kind of comb through more of the responses and look into some guest speakers, and then try to plug in main topics for the rest of the meetings from now until the end of this. Today was just really to get a feel for what you guys have been thinking.
Cool.
All right.
So you don't know if other people are gonna come the next.
I'm hoping that with more time to plan ahead, because this was it all happened really quickly. But I'm hoping with more time for people to plan and more time for me to kind of evaluate time zones and people schedules, that I can hopefully catch. But there's a lot of people in the initial email. There's 15 groups, maybe less, ballpark. So again, this was like the first trial. So we were working out the kinks, but hopefully, the next one works out a little better for more people. But okay, so if no one else has any questions, I'm gonna take everything you guys said and I'll send you I think it's easier, and correct me if I'm wrong, would you rather have me send like separate emails with like topics so it's easier to find what you need? Because for me, and this is just how my brain works, like when I'm emailing Chris, I'll send her multiple emails, but they're separate instead of sending multiple, so I can search in my email for like schedule or like guest speakers, or you know what I'm saying?
If you put everything in one email, you lose me after like.
Yeah, I feel like I forget.
So one email, one topic, right?
Yeah, that's how because when I go back to search it later, I have an easier time finding what I need. But if that's too much for you, I can do it the other way.
It's fine.
I'm a surf therapy client. I'm not just the founder. I'm also a client. So my ADD does not let me get through that email if you put too much in it.
We get that.
All right, well, that's it for me. Everyone in Elise and Sandra, thank you again for sticking through it so late in the night. Great.
No worries. Was nice to meet you.
Yes, you guys too.
See you later, guys.
All right, see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.